popular saying that, okay, there's a popular saying that the day you buy a property is the day you either make a profit or you lose money. The day you buy a property, the day you buy, that means the closing cost, the purchase price. So, but if you buy a property, let's say January 1, 2021, and at that time, the market price for that property is 50 million naira, Nigerian currency, and then you bought it at 45 million naira. That day, you have just made 5 million naira on that property. But if the market price is 50 million naira, and you also ended up buying at 50 million naira, you have not made a profit. I can even say you have made a loss. So one of the strategies to buy property in Nigeria, if your intention is buy and flip, because it's much more easy and smarter to buy and over a period of time, sell it. That way you can multiply your money. If you are not looking at multiplying your money and you are doing the rental route, that means you are tying down your money with the challenges of tenants and all of that. But smart investors actually just buy and they look for the right time to sell. That is why you don't buy actually in an environment that has gotten to the peak. So take, for instance, you have 100 million naira, you want to buy a property in Nigeria, and you take your 100 million naira, you go and buy a terrace house in Lekki Phase 1. That property might not get 120 million naira in the next 3-4 years because the properties at that locations are already at their peak. And now it is slowly growing up the ladder, foot dragging, because how many people actually have 100 million naira? So I'll tell you a personal experience. Sometimes in 2009, I bought a land for 650,000 naira. And then I'll tell you that the first part of it that I sold in 2014, I sold 10 plots of it I sold 20 plots for 80 million naira. 20 plots for 80 million naira. And when I bought it then, I actually bought, at that time I bought about 86 plots. So the first set I bought the 86 plots for 55.9 million naira, 2006. And then when I was 2009, I beg your pardon, when I was selling about 2014, I sold 20 plots for 80 million naira. Was there a risk involved? Yes. Did I have to fence the land? Yes. Did I have to put things in a place to secure it? Yes. So for me, it is easier for me to multiply and grow wealth in real estate when you buy and sell. But there are several things you have to look for when you are buying. I also have an example to share with you. Some time ago also, I bought a property. I saw a very good deal. I bought the property, I negotiated and paid over a period of six months. As at the time, before the third month, I got somebody else that was going to buy it. And I made 20 million naira and I was good. I just paid off the balance and I moved away with my 20 million naira. Yes, you are not in Nigeria. It might be a difficult model for you to run if you want to do those things. But I'll be telling us how to do it and where and the locations to look at. So this takes me to locations. So it's not every location you can actually do this. Some places, even if the land there per plot is 5 naira, you may not get anybody to buy it at 3 naira because the location is wrong. So in real estate, location is everything. I know that's a popular saying. We are all aware of that. There are locations like Lagos, Port Harcourt, Abuja that are usually hotcake. But I must tell you now that Abuja is no longer an hotcake, considering the insecurity in Nigeria. Truth be told, I was still in Abuja about maybe 2 months ago or last month. Many properties, many estates are empty. People that are maybe from the east, from the south, or southwest that are trying, a lot of people are trying to sell their property, move down south. They don't know what's going to happen to Nigeria. We pray nothing happens to Nigeria. So already in Abuja, the properties there are now at bottom level. Nobody's buying, no new projects, nothing. So Abuja may not be the attractive place to be. So let me take you to Port Harcourt. I was in Port Harcourt, not January this year. I was in Port Harcourt January this year. In Port Harcourt, if I go to Port Harcourt, I dare not go alone. I have to look for escort. Because even people that live in Port Harcourt, they have to wear slippers, even when they can afford the quality shoe. So people will not know who they are. I don't want to invest in that kind of environment. So except you are from River State or except you are in that location, then it's easier for you to take the risk when you speak the language. I have friends that work in Port Harcourt. They have houses in Port Harcourt, but they would rather keep their families in Lagos. They don't mind flying when they are doing off and on and off on the field. to live in Lagos. So these are locations and these are red signs, red signals that can tie down your money when you invest in such locations. Lagos seems to be one of the most attractive places to invest in real estate, but Lagos also has its own challenges. There are some locations that when you buy a property, it takes a longer time for you to sell. For instance, bad road, insecurity. If you invest anything around Agbara area, your money is going to be there for God knows when, I don't know. If you invest anything in some locations in Oakland State, your money will be there for a longer time because people are not going there because there's no good road, there are no government presence, there's not much infrastructure going on there. There's a general buzz now about Lekki Epe axis. A lot of people are speculating, and wherever there's a lot of speculation, there'll be volumes and tons of scammers. But that does not also take the fact that the location is good, the location is fantastic. Recently, I also heard that there's a document being signed with Dangote Refinery for him to develop the airport that has been there. There's an airport in Lekki that has been in the master plan. I know that something is being worked on that. If he develops the airport, it further opens up the place. But are there people already selling the airport land? Yes. How would you buy an airport land and think you will ever be able to use it? It's impossible. Like I said, when I started business, so I lost some land. In 2009, I bought 48 plots around the Lekki. After a while, I didn't know that that land was even part of the place I was marked for the refinery. That land, I lost it, I lost the money. I'm still pursuing the person that sold it to me till now. In fact, his matter is before the government. Till now, he has not refunded money, he has not refunded land. And the land is inside the refinery. Who do I fight? So not everybody has the luxury to do that, but because we are a real estate company, it's much more easier for us to take up those battles. But for an individual that's investing in real estate, you need to be mindful of the location, do due diligence. So talking about the location, I'll be focusing on 4 locations presently in Lagos, where I think you can easily invest and then look for ways to flip your property. One of the mistakes I see that people abroad do when they buy property is to be looking at somebody that will pay cash for you to buy. So in Nigeria, we don't have mortgage, let me say that word, because it's very, very limited. Interest rates are high. So people usually pay in installments. So one of the models I work for our clients abroad is to look for an off-plan project. Off-plan projects is risky, but there are ways to mitigate against it. The easiest way to mitigate against it is to look at the credibility of those that are doing the project. I've seen people advertise houses, advertise land, buy 3 plots, get 1 free. At the end of the day, you never get even an half plot. They sell the land, it's not their land, it's government land, and before you know it, they've relocated to Canada or they relocated to Europe. Where do you look for them? There are many cases like that. So the easiest thing for you to do is to look for a credible link, do a due diligence. You can never, ever go wrong. Due diligence gives you a step that, okay, I did this. It gives you some information. Don't just look at things online and just buy. Look at the location, look at the company, look at the people behind it. Do some due diligence, ask a lot of questions. After you've been able to do all of this, and if possible, also engage a lawyer. The money you pay to a lawyer may never be too much. Yeah, some lawyers also can also stall a transaction or may also be very deceptive because of what they want to get. Yes, but you still have to go through somebody that you know, or never undermine the area of referral, somebody that knows somebody that can refer to you, whether a lawyer, a realtor that can go there, do some due diligence for you. So the locations I'm talking about where you can look at off-plan. If you buy into off-plan usually comes at a discounted price. And so a property that is, for instance, worth 40 million might be advertised at 25 million. So what off-plan does for Nigerian developers, let me explain it to us now. So in Nigeria, because it's very, very difficult to get loans, and when you can get loans, the rates are also high. So one of the demanding things or the challenges for developers is to acquire the land, secure a loan to build the entire property. By the time they build the entire property, they usually have issues because one, inflation would have caught up with the price, and then the price of the property becomes unaffordable for the people they want to target. So assuming they have the cash and it's their own, they can easily sell at 25 million. So for them, the development becomes a contract. It doesn't run as if I am buying to sell again. It's more or less like I have a markup of 10%, 15%. The funds are providing, there's a good cash flow. I have acquired the land already. So my only risk is I get the land ready, I do an off-plan model, people start paying in, the money goes into the project. And this is where credibility also comes. You are doing it with a company that is not going to be diverting funds. So you see some companies, recently there's another company like that. They keep changing names. They come with one name and then they mess up the name of the business. They change the name again to another entirely different name that you can't trace them. And they're the ones that be taking people to Dubai, everywhere, spending, showing off. But right on the project, they are not actually doing the work. So they are diverting funds. They are spending money. Some of them would end up going to politics to want to add credibility or to protect themselves from people pursuing them. I have a similar case in Abuja. Bought a property from someone. We pursuing him when he's looking for a way of escape, went into politics, but we are still on the matter. So as it is, it's always very, very easy for you to, and going into off plans. When you go into off plan, you get it at a very low price. You lock in again, assuming you've done all your due diligence, and then you pay in installments. So you can actually tie your payment into milestones. So your payment 1 is for initial deposit. Payment 2, they will send you updates based on what is happening in the estate, the progress of your building. Payment 3 and the rest like that. That way you do not lose totally. And worse, if you don't get a complete finished project, you get a partly finished house, and then you can make sure you fight your battles and get your house in shape. When you do that, one fantastic advantage is by the time your house is completed in 12 months, the price you bought it is never the same. At that time, if you're able to build a good relationship with realtors, with a network of people, they can start marketing your property for you. So I'll tell you an example. One of our estates, we launched it September 1st, year about last year. We launched it for 13 million. This man finished paying at about December. His unit was ready by January. It was a semi-detached bungalow. He sold his unit 20 million by February. Another one now has another of his units up in the market for 24 million. Even me, I feel that 24 million is too much. Why? Because people have moved into the estate. They are now living in there. It has changed the price. But someone that's come in with 13 million is a very good deal. But that was then. Now inflation again has affected the price, because at that time cement was 2,200. Now cement is 3,008. Iron rods are used in doing columns, walls were about 195,000 per ton. Now it's just about 420,000. So inflation is a friend or will be an advantage for you if you buy into off-plan. In an economy like Nigeria, the lender is the loser. So the lender, if care is not taken, the person providing instrumental payment for you will lose. The lender, the bank giving you money, if the bank lends you 10 million naira in Nigeria and you are paid after 1 year in installments, that 10 million naira is not the same again. Inflation has eaten into it. So you that you're actually going upfront doing installments, at the end of the day, you are the winner. The borrower wins in an inflation market, inflation-driven economy like Nigeria. So you that are latching into off-plan projects, paying in installments, you are at an advantage, because by the time your project is ready, inflation would have added value to your property. Currency appreciation would have added value to your property, and then when you are selling, you are making a good amount of money. So the locations I'll be looking at here is Ajah, Ibejuleki, Yaba, Ikeja. Those areas are fairly safe. Those areas are fairly areas that can easily buy properties, sell easily. If you go to some areas, no matter how cheap your property is, it becomes very difficult to sell. Some areas also are areas that, for instance, I know that Festac is a place that is dominated basically by people from Southeast. Isolo, yes, Southeast. You go to Mushin, Yorubas, but they're always having clashes. So depending on who you are, it will be good that you pitch your tent in the right place. People from the East most times don't buy properties much in Nigeria. They'd rather go and invest in the East first. So if you put a property in their midst, they will only rent. It just makes a lot of sense. They will rent, only few of them buy, only few Igbos buy property now in Lagos. Everybody's trying to develop the Southeast. So they only rent. So if you put your property or your money in those areas, you'll just be tying it down. But the areas that are a little bit balanced, upscale, average income earners that are close to corporate organizations, corporate offices, or corporate locations, Ikeja, Ajah, Ibejuleki, Yaba, are places that you can easily sell and then properties when you invest in them. So I will talk lastly about titles. There are different titles of land in Lagos. The most common one that you hear in Ibejuleki, people will tell you they have survey. Survey is not a title. So if somebody has a survey, it is not anybody can do a survey. It does not give validity or title to the name on it or the owner. They will tell you deed of assignment. Deed of assignment is not a title. The titles we have that are recognized by law in Lagos State are C of O, which is certificate of occupancy. I must also tell you that people now clone certificates of occupancy, which is very, very scary. I had a very close incident with a friend 2 years ago. They actually cloned the CFO of somebody else. The person is not in Nigeria. The person owns the land in Lekki. They cloned the CFO. They add the infantry to even build on the land. After building on the land, now selling the house on the land. It was at the point of sales that they were caught. So people do all sorts of things, which is why I told you that you must also do your due diligence very well. As bad as it is, there are very much genuine people in Nigeria, but with our population, you also find bad people. It is normal. The same way in China, the same way in most areas, countries that are having huge population. So these are some of the things you need to look at. It must have a certificate of occupancy. When you have a certificate of occupancy, if someone has a certificate of occupancy, when the person sells to you, the person executes a deed of assignment that you can register to have a governor's consent. That means the governor consenting to the transaction. You've paid all your money and it becomes a registered title. So if you are going into a transaction, please ensure that you have a registered title. That automatically gives your property an appreciation of nothing less than 20%, if not up to 50%. Because if your property doesn't have a title, it stands the risk of so many litigations, so many unknown owners. So a land can be sitting down there because there is no registered title on it. That land can be sold to 10 people. And if the 10 of them have not registered it, you would never know. But once it is registered, you can trace the history of the ownership of the land and know the last person that bought it. And from there, you know what to do. So your land must just have a title. In Ibejuleki, any land that government have acquired before, they do what they call excision. That means they excise a portion of it and they release it back for public use or for the people they acquired it from to be able to use it. So people also advertise land properties in Ibejuleki. Ajah asks this, saying it is under excision. Yes, when it's under excision, that means government has really, it's now like a freehold. But until you get to the point of C of O, you cannot perfect your title. Yes, it is free. It is no longer under acquisition, but you still need it to get to C of O level. That means it's still a work in progress. When they also present a file number to you, please do not deal. File number just means an application. I want the government to release this land to me because it's under acquisition. So please release this land to me. That is all what a file number means. If it has not been excised, do not deal. That's a caveat. All right, so two more points to talk about. A lot of people have at one point or the other reached out to me to ask about some things about land. When people advertise a property at kilometer 1, and then at the end of the day, when you now eventually go and see what you bought, you're at kilometer 100. So they can market the property for you that is saying it is just at the outskirts of Lagos. Outskirts of the Lagos can be Ibadan. Outskirts of Lagos can be Ogbomoso. Outskirts of Lagos is relative based on who is talking about it. So you have to make sure they give you specifics of where you're actually buying. Google is your friend. They can give you a Google location. They share the location. You have it on record that this is the exact location you have marketed to me. Don't let them say this property is just in this particular location by word of mouth. At the end of the day, you are not actually able to track the location of the property. And when you're buying into any of all these properties, always look out for where there's government interest. Government interest work in two ways. It works against anybody that has a property that is not titled, because when government have interest, they can come and acquire for public interest. But if your property has title, when government has interest in that location, you are good to go. The property will continue to appreciate and continue to add value. So when you have, when you want to buy a property, or you have a real estate company you want to buy a property for, what are the things you need to demand from them? You need to ask them for a contract of sale when you transact, ask for drawings, ask for title, ask for records, previous testimonials of what they've done before. Where have they done projects? Are they ones they've completed before? Yes, there are some companies that just start up and then we need to give them some chance, but that's part of the risk we are taking. So some of them will start up, they may not have done their due diligence, where they won't know how to complete and they can burn their fingers along the line. So I will give us opportunities to ask questions, and then maybe during the question and answer, I'll be able to talk about some other areas. Over to you, sir.
Thank you very much. As you heard, our speaker has been quite honest about the situation of property in Nigeria, and he's spoken a lot about, investing, and I just want him to also just shed a bit of light on people who are interested in like buying a property in Nigeria that they want to like hold on to, live in when they come in from abroad, from London or the US, and then what is the situation, and also about if their way, renting that property out, while they're not there, and then so what's his advice on that?
Okay, thank you, sir. There's something that makes it very good for people abroad now to earn income on their property, and I'm sure we are well aware of it. Airbnb. Today, short-let Airbnb is doing very, very well in Lagos. Again, your property has to be in a very good location. Once it's in an estate, you see people coming into Lagos for an holiday, just somewhere to cool off, and then your property is well located. So there are other companies that actually handle these services. So they go all out, they advertise on Airbnb, they advertise on airlines, platforms, and all of that, on social media platforms. So you get to, I actually prefer the Airbnb than to permanent rent. So for somebody that will be visiting Nigeria twice in a year, maybe you visit July and December, you can actually schedule that your property will be locked for Airbnb between January and May. So by June, they use it to clean up the place. So it's serving you as a personal accommodation and also as a commercial property. That way, you know that when you're out of it, the place will be well kept. Even if out of 5 months, you are able to get it occupied three months or 6 months in a year, you are doing very, very well. Because at that point in time, it's covering part of your income. You are getting to Nigeria, you are not having to stay in an hotel, stay with family and friends that you may want to separate yourself for a while, or you want your visit to Nigeria to be like a personal retreat. Yes, it is a very good option. I also have a couple of friends that do that. They have a 3-bedroom bungalow, semi-detached. When they're in the country, they stay in there, but they have a room that is 100% locked. That is where they keep their clothes, their personal belongings. So when they're traveling to Nigeria, they just travel light. The 2 rooms that are left, the sitting room and all of that, is available for Airbnb. And when they come back, they clean the place, they set up the house with their taste, they live there. When they are going back, they pack up their personal belongings into a room, they lock it, and there's a facility manager or a company that helps them to manage it. So people can actually have a house that will be done, not just locking up the house or putting somebody to be living there, and you come back, all your furnitures, your personal belongings are damaged. So that's a very good option. And then the other area is rental. Like I said, I've talked about it. Some people will still want to do rental. So if you're also doing rental, the easiest way to do it is to actually separate yourself from the tenants. You get a company, a real estate company, to solely handle the rental, the leasing agreements, let them deal with the corporate organization. If they have to use litigation, forced to evict them, they do all of that. But the moment some tenants have direct access to the owner, abuse from experience is so much. They abuse the privilege. They expect you to show understanding, And when you are showing understanding, from 1 year's rent, it becomes 6 months, they start delaying their rents, and for you, that is loss of revenue. So those are the ways you can actually manage such situations.
Thank you very much for that. And just to let you know, if you're on this forum, that Dr. Oyeleke, he's built over 10 estates and their houses, and when you buy one of the houses, his houses, off plan or other built, we will hold your hand in terms of, because I know that a lot of people have, who can I trust? Who is the right person I can trust? And because he has a lot of experience, he's told you his experience, years of experience in the Nigerian market, we will hold your hand in that aspect of your property. So I just want to open the door. If you have any questions you would like to ask Dr. Oyeleke, please feel free. Unmute yourself and ask. Okay. Kemisola, please ask your question.
Okay, good evening, everybody. Yeah, this is Kemisola. I just want to ask, just like he said a deal of assignment is not a title. The only one recognized is the CFO. If you purchase a plot of land or in an estate, are you supposed to have a CFO, personal CFO in an estate?
Okay, so I didn't say CFO is the only registered title. CFO is the root of title. We also have governor's consent. So when you buy from an estate that has a CFO, that means they have a global CFO covering the entire perimeter of their land. Now, the portion you have bought is just a part of the entire land. So they will execute a deed of assignment, transferring that portion, that one plot to you from maybe 100 plots. So that deed of assignment they have given to you has to be registered if you want to sell. If you don't sell, it doesn't give you value. So there will be some people that will say that their root of title is a deed of assignment. Deed of assignment is not a root title. That's what I'm trying to say. But if I have a CFO and I am selling to Party B, I would execute a deed of assignment with Party B. Party B have the prerogative to go and register their title or continue to market the property, telling them that the root title is a CFO. I have a deed of assignment to show my own portion on this land. That's how it works, man. So the person that has a deed of assignment, when it gets to the Lagos State government, now gets a governor's consent. That means the governor consents to it and it becomes a registered title. If Party C again buys from her, that person also gets a governor's consent and it keeps going that way. But the root of the title is a certificate of occupancy. I hope I was able to clear that.
Okay. Yeah. So if I am buying from an individual, I can, after the survey, I can get my CFO directly from an individual. So if it's a, what's it called now? An estate. So is the deal of assignment the estate I'll get as my own evidence. Like.
So my question will be, what is the title of that estate? What is the root title that estate has? Because they are the one you are buying from. Is it that the land is a freehold? You don't get freehold in Lagos, you get freehold maybe in Osun State or your states. Freehold are lands that people have owned from time immemorial. Maybe my forefathers passed it 100, 200 years ago, and government is not interested in the area, so government never acquired it. So that kind of person is a freehold. But if not, the company must have a root title. How did they derive the title of the land they want to sell to you? Did you understand that, Madam Kemisola? They have to tell you. Yes. So what is their root title? Do you have an idea?
Yeah, it is a CFO. You have the CFO.
Fantastic. If they have a CFO, it's good. Thank you.
Yes, they have this.
Okay. If you have any more questions, the floor is open for questions. Any question you might have about buying property, buying land?
Yeah. Yeah, the other question is the one I saw in your flyer, a 2-bedroom, 3-bedroom instrumental. So I don't really understand how it works. Is it that the house is, sorry, I joined late, so I didn't know if you have talked about that. So is it that you are buying a already built building property, or just as you as you are paying instrumental, the building is going on at the same
Okay,
time?
so
I
that
don't know
was
if you
what I was
understand.
explaining. Okay. That was what I was explaining under off plan.
Okay.
Okay, madam. Off plan is such that the land has been acquired. The project is about to kick off. You want to take advantage of the launch price of plan, and then you buy at that time. And as the project is progressing, you will be paying into it. So it's one of the easiest way to actually buy at a cheaper price before the price goes up. So in most cases, it's not as if the houses are already there. They are under construction. You buy, and then as the construction advances, the prices keep going up. So maybe you bought at when it was foundation at 10 million naira. When it got to another level, they sell another portion again. People keep coming in. So, but when the property is completely finished, it comes at a premium. So that's the way off plan works. So off plan is an easy way to actually acquire properties below market value, but also you must do your due diligence to check the credibility of the developer, not that they will now pay and then they are not able to deliver. Yes.
I'm happy to say that all the properties we sell on properties Cbiz forum, these properties, we've done our due diligence, and the properties are genuine. When you buy off plan and you're paying instrumentally or you're paying half first, you are assured that you will get your money's worth. Yep. Okay. Does anyone have any question?
I think I should have a question. Let me just thank you, sir, for sharing with us today. And one of the key things that stands out is around the aspect of due diligence. Could you unpack that in maybe just a few words in terms of when you say due diligence, what does that involve? What would be expected to do? Because of some of the things you've said, it looks like there is a need for that, especially in the environment we're discussing, before you dip your feet into water. So if you could maybe unpack that for us, what sort of due diligence, how would you go about it, if that's okay, sir?
Thank you, sir. From my personal experience, the person you are buying a property from is actually more important than the property. And this is why I say that. From experience, I bought properties from very, very big men. The property is genuine, but along the line, somebody is contesting their title. They will just leave you to it that I've already sold to you, is your headache. I don't like that kind of property. Because at the end of the day, they sold to you based on the fact that they have the CFO. You actually went to the registry to confirm that their title is genuine. But along the line, somebody else is contesting that title to say that, yes, you have a CFO, but when they sold this thing to you, they've already sold it to me before. Instead of them to stand up and defend you, they just leave you to it. That is why I said the people you buy from is sometimes more important than the property itself, because that is why I said sometimes you go through the route of referral. I've also seen people that, yes, I bought property from them. Somebody else, like government councilman revoked their CFO, but they stood with me. We went all the way for 6 years and we got the document back. Those are the kind of people I like. So due diligence goes into knowing who you are buying from, the credibility of who they are they who they are? Does it match the integrity of the money you want to part with? You look at that. Secondly, you now look at the title that they want to use in selling to you. Is the title a registered title? If it's a registered title, so let me tell you one other joke that people do now. Somebody can take the title of a property for those that may not know Nigeria very well, maybe they take a property the title of property in Bromley and go and use it to sell another property in Peckham. It happens very well. The same title. So what is most important now is when somebody even shows you the title of a property, you need to get the services of a surveyor. So that is when you are dealing with an unknown person. And even if you are dealing with an unknown person, you ask them all these questions. Let the surveyor go there. Let them pick the coordinates of the land so that the land you are buying is where you are standing, not across the street. Because if the land they are showing you is the land where you are, and across the street is where the coordinate of the land is, at the end of the day, maybe you've bought into a swamp, you bought into under a power line, or NMPC power line, pipeline is passing under the ground, and all of those things. So they must show you, the surveyor must actually take the coordinates to say, this is where you are buying, and that is it. But some of all these edicts, you are able to easily navigate them and not bother yourself, most especially when you are buying from a corporate organization and you're buying into an estate. So what you just need to do is to just do your due diligence on the organization and then the root title. But if you are buying from one party individual, or you are just buying a plot from somebody and not an estate, you need to go all out to do all of this. That's what I would so those are the basic things you may need to look at when I say due diligence: the person, the organization selling, and the title documents, which might involve a lawyer or a surveyor to advise you on, or a realtor that you know. So I can also tell you that sometimes, surveyors are sometimes bribed. When they know that when the person selling it knows that the land you are buying is not where it is, they tip the surveyor, and the surveyor tells you that is where it is, and you are not in Nigeria. So what do? So it still boils down to knowing somebody that is credible, that can vouch, you just have to ask questions. And I also know that sometimes when you're trying to ask questions in Nigeria, the people you're asking also can even set you up to even leave the right person and then set you up to lose money through another setup. So it's what it is. I know that Cbiz has been in the industry for a while, and they'll be able to navigate anybody that wants to buy a property in Nigeria and help you do all the due diligence. So you just go to sleep. They just recommend to you. Yes.
Exactly. We only deal with respected people in the property business. We know that what everyone needs is that assurance that when you buy property, you can go to sleep, and that property, whenever you travel to Nigeria or whenever you want to use that property is available for you.
Sorry, I may have muted the speaker. Is that
okay? I'm here. I'm just waiting for us to have more questions, and then I'll just talk about our own projects. In Lagos presently, we have a couple of projects. We have in Victoria Island, we are doing a 9-4-story building, 3-bedroom flats, 4-bedroom maisonates, and then the penthouses are sold. We have Yaba sold out today. We have flats and duplexes we did off about Macaulay Way. We're hoping to start another one around Cement bus stop, that is Yanopaja, Ushudi Yanopaja Expressway, after Ikeja Computer Village, Mongoro Cement. We are looking at doing something there. We launched an estate yesterday at the Bromade Soya in Ajah. That's called Peak Prime 2. We have Peak Prime 1 also opposite Lagos Business School in Ajah also. And then we have different estates across Dr. Oyeleke. We've done projects in Okpebi, Sold Out, Allen, and the likes. And the properties we have actually on the platform of Cbiz, you can look through them. And then if you have some questions, some considerations, floor plans, any requests, they'll pass it across to us and then give you more details on it. Thank you, Saz and Ma.
Yeah. Yes, I have. I've put the property website, the property address on the chat, so you can copy it, and then all the properties. We're still loading some more properties. There are properties there for you to see and choose. I have a question for you, sir. Do you have in your estate, do you have it's like a commercial properties, like for offices, halls, you know, that people can buy?
Yes, we do. We have them not at the heart of the estate. We have them facing the external road, because we don't want people driving into the estate to patronize the service. That would be jeopardizing the security of the estate. So the commercial properties we have are actually facing the external road, so people patronizing them do not have access to coming through the estate. Yes, we have them across our estates.
That is wonderful. I just want to say that the standard of Dr. Oyeleke's estate are as good as what you will find abroad. They are as good as what you find abroad. If you've seen any of the videos, I've had the first, I think, Peak 1.
Big bungalows.
Yeah, yes. It's a smart estate, internet everywhere. You have so many services. So when you're buying quality. You're buying quality. And those are one of the things that attracted us to him. He loves quality and he delivers quality. Yeah. So we're still open for questions.
Hello, I just wanted to say for everybody that's presently online, anybody that purchases property through the Cbiz Properties partnership that we have now will get a discount on the properties that Dr. Oyeleke is developing. So if you go or try to go outside of our framework, then you won't be entitled to that discount. But if you come through us, where we are trusted partners with his team, we do have knowledge. We have, as David had said, done our due diligence. We know that we're working with a partner with integrity. And so therefore we can offer that benefit of the discount to you. But if you go beyond that, then you won't get that discount. So I think it is important to let you know that if you have interest, then you do have that benefit as well.
Yes, that's correct. Thank you.
You're welcome. Are there any more questions?
Okay.
Also, I just wanted to share that people should understand, irrespective of where the property is, whether it's in the US, whether it's in Nigeria, whether it's in UK, there are lots of benefits and there are lots of pitfalls. And I really appreciate you, Dr. Oyeleke, for being honest, because, you know, a lot of people always want to flower situations, but, you know, if you know from the outset what the challenges are, then you know that when you're being given good advice through us, then you will make sound investments. So it's good that we've had the balance that you've shared today, so that we understand what we're up against when we are, you know, making that investment.
Okay. Thank you very much, Mrs. Elio. Thank you. And I just like to say that if we don't have any more questions, I'm going to hand over to Dr. Oyeleke if he has any further information he would like to share with us, or
Yes, thank you, sir. Thank you for the time. Thank you for the opportunity. But I must also say this, that there is always, there's never a right time to invest in real estate than now. I'll tell you that Nigeria is always a right place, but you must also go through the right people, which is why I'm sure you're connected to Cbiz. And with Efficacy, you can go to sleep on your properties that they are secured. And wealth multiplication is key. Wealth growing is key. Whatever money you keep in the bank today, the next 10 years will be devalued. But property, real estate will keep growing, and Nigeria has the population. In fact, the government is afraid that our infrastructure cannot carry our population growth in the next 20 years. So if there's population, shelter is going to be on the table for #1 priority for people. So look at Nigeria as a very, very green land for real estate, and that is what it is truly. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much, Dr. Oyeleke. Someone asked me actually, I know you did mention Abuja, that the value of is not really rising, actually going down. But if somebody wanted to buy property in Abuja, do you have any available, or could you guide them to a safe person?
Yes, we can guide them. We also have estates in Abuja, but we are not developing them now.
Okay.
We're just trying to look at the weather to see if we should continue the project or not. We've not sold, it's just an estate. We've acquired the land, waiting for the right time to start.
Okay.
So, and if they need it now, we can also guide them to the right people that we know they're already established and their projects are ongoing.
Okay. And then I know we sell off plan, but do you also just sell land? Do you? I mean,
yes, for all our estates, we always have prototypes. We have a section for people who just want to build at their own pace, to their own taste, so no pressure. So those ones, they have land to buy. We have people that just want bungalows. So we have our houses, musically, we try and keep them below actually 30, 35 million. We don't like to go beyond that so that we don't reduce the people that we can attract that can buy. So we have bungalows, we have terraces and all of that. So basically those are the price range that we have, but we usually have land for people to build on. And if you have land somewhere, you also want us to build for you, we are a construction company, we do that also. We do engineering drawings for you, architectural drawings, bill of quantities and all of that. So we do all of that.
Fantastic. Yeah, we forgot to mention that he has a construction company, and his standards of construction, like the houses, are the best. So you can also get that. Thank you very much. Elio, do you have anything to say? Okay. Okay. Unless someone has an urgent question they want to ask, we are going to wrap up the night right now. You've heard from Dr. Oyeleke. I think if you are here tonight, if you've been with us tonight, you'll know that in terms of property, you're in very good hands. You're in very good hands. You're in very good hands with us over here in London. You're in very good hands with our partners over in Nigeria. You know, I've had people calling me from the US, you know, asking me and everything, you know, and it's always the question is it safe? Is it safe? Am I dealing with? And I know that you can say, I can answer yes safely and go to bed and still worship my God. I can answer that with a clear conscience I can say, yes, it is safe. So thank you very much, sir. Thank you. It's a privilege having you.
Before you go, somebody has just signed in quite late, and they're called Foreign, and they said, apologies, I have only just joined. Please, sir, what is the name of your office? What do you have, or where do you have your estate, and what are the prices, sir?
Okay. Our office is located in Victoria Island, 184 Moshido Lubani. Our company name is Efficacy Construction Company. Like I said earlier, we have projects in Victoria Island here. The project name is called 1865, 9-story building. We have estates at Yaba. Yaba is sold out today. We have now, we just launched yesterday at Ibramade Soya, Peak Prime 2. We have Peak Prime 1 opposite LBS, also at Aja. We have Peak Bungalow Phase 1, Phase 2, Phase 3. We have projects we've completed long ago. So the ones we have in the market presently are basically Peak 3, and then we have Peak 3 presently available in the market. We have Peak Prime 2 available in the market, and then we also have Peak Terraces is also sold out, and 1865. So we have 1865 VI in the market. We have the one we just launched, Peak Prime 2 in the market available, and then we also have Peak Bungalow 3. Those are the 3 available in the market at the moment.
And
just to say, Foreign, that we are the intermediaries for Dr. Oyeleke's company in Nigeria. So any questions that you have, or you ask, if you go on to properties.cbizforum.com, you will see what is available, and then you will then contact us with your questions and what your desires are, and then we will see what's available to you if that's what you if you then want to proceed forward. And also coming through us avails you of discount as well, as I explained earlier, and for the purposes of you just joining, that if you try to approach Dr. Oyeleke directly, his organization directly, you will not benefit from any discount. So everybody here from the UK, so long as they come through us, then they will get a discount. So hopefully all the questions you asked have been summarized now, and you understand that. But there's also, I believe, David, you'll send out a recording of today's meeting, right?
Yes. Okay. Foreign, we have our web address, property web address on the chat section. You can, if you go to it, and then you can just quickly fill out the form there, and we'll get back to you. Any question you have, we will make sure that you get answered. And and Dr. Oyeleke will surely offer you his best through us. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, so if we don't have any more questions, I would like to thank everyone for coming on tonight. I know that this has been a very, very, very useful session. We are looking at having another one, and but what we'd like to do is, if you know, and for us to know that you have been, this session has been useful to you, you can go onto our website and fill out one of the contact forms, so that we know, you want to be partaking about this investment for into Nigerian properties, so that we can get you the latest news, always get you the information, and also you also get the best deals through this forum. So I'd just like to say thank you once more, and I would like to once more thank Dr. Oyeleke for a wonderful presentation. And I know that if we ask him to come again, he's a very busy man. He travels everywhere in the world. He was with us in London about 2 weeks ago, but I know that he will come on because he's passionate about this area. He's really passionate about it. And I want to say that there's more. He has more because I've spoken with him. There are more areas he has more, and we will bring you those more as time goes on. So stick with us. And I want to say on behalf of Cbiz Forum, if this is your first session with Cbiz Forum, Cbiz stands for Christian Business Forum. We are a business development company, and we are the founders. We are all Christians, so and that's why that hacking had to happen. I think there are some people who don't like Christians, so they target them, but they have failed. They have failed, and they'll keep on failing. So, but we thank God. So I'd like to say good night to everyone. Have a good night.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Tuesday. This is why you love international football. Saturday, you wouldn't miss this match. Collect 3